Welcome to Hatha Yoga, or Hatha Yoga, as they call it in the UK. We put one hand on the chest, one hand on the stomach. We'll close the eyes. We'll take a deep breath in and exhale through the mouth. In all the way and out all the way. And one more time. Out through the mouth. And then we keep our mouth closed and just breathe in and out through the nose. And the reason we've got our hands here on the chest and on the stomach is because we want to feel that movement of the air. So you want to feel the chest rise and fall. It does that mostly, but we also want to feel the stomach rise and fall. That's our diaphragmatic breath. So it goes into the larger, the lower part of the lung. Just take a few moments here. Feeling your stomach and your chest rise every time you breathe in and fall every time you breathe out. Now from here, bring your hands to your rib cage. We also want to engage our intercostals. Inhale and feel the rib cage expand. Exhale, feel the rib cage contract. And while all that is going on, it's like our whole upper body is expanding and contracting. You can bring the hands back onto the knees. We take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, we drop the chin to the chest. And then let your shoulders just drop a little bit here. Slight movement in the shoulders. Let them soften. And then slowly start rolling the shoulders forwards, up towards the back and down, keeping the chin on the chest. Now sync this with your breath. Inhale as you bring the shoulders up and exhale as you roll them to the back and down. One more time. Then raise the head, look up to the ceiling. Bring the fingertips onto the ground and walk them away from you. Good. From here, drop your right ear to the right shoulder. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, bring the chin to the chest. Inhale, raise the head all the way up, look up to the ceiling. Exhale, drop the left ear to the left shoulder. Deep breath in here. And then exhale and roll the chin to the chest. Inhale, raise the arms from here, look up to the ceiling. And exhale, float the arms down. Now bring the elbows towards each other, squeeze the shoulder blades, and palms are open towards the front. Good. We hold here for a deep breath in. We exhale and slide the shoulders further down. Inhale, raise the arms and look up. Exhale, bring the shoulders down and squeeze the shoulder blades, bringing the elbows towards each other behind your back. Last time, deep breath in, raise the arms. And exhale, bring the elbows towards each other, slide the shoulders down, squeeze the shoulder blades. Good. Breathe in, raise the left arm, right hand comes onto the ground. Breathe out, reach that arm over to the right, look to the right. And then drop your gaze and come a little bit lower, but don't round, not yet. Just stay where you are here in that straight line, imagining a wall behind you that you want to touch, that most of your back body wants to touch. And we take a deep breath in. On the exhale, we lower that hand and drop the head as much as we can, maybe looking towards the hip here. Inhale, raise the arm, and this time look up. Take a couple of breaths here, looking up to the ceiling. And exhale, come back. Good, now bring your outer foot in towards you. Good. Sit nice and comfortably still. Breathe in and raise your right arm. Breathe out and reach the arm over to the left. Look to the left. And then look down to the ground. Good. We'll go a little bit deeper, maybe coming onto our forearm here if that's not too much. This is completely optional. Just want you to stretch into your right side here. Good. And then we breathe in and we look up to the ceiling. And we breathe out and we come back. Good. And from here, we bring the hands behind us, fingertips on the ground. Good. And walk the fingertips towards each other. And now I'm going to change so you can see a little bit better. Change side. From here, bring your fingertips to your lower back. And then see how high they can come. Maybe they can come to your mid back. If this is uncomfortable in any way, stay where you are. See if the tops of the hands can come all the way to in between your shoulder blades. Don't worry where you are. Now fingertips together, push them together, and then try and push the palms together as well. Doesn't matter how high, but once you're here and the palms are pushing towards each other, bring the elbows towards the back and squeeze your shoulder blades. Reverse namaste, but any way this looks is fine. Good, and from here, bring your chin towards the right shoulder. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Roll the chin to the chest. Inhale, bring the chin to the left shoulder. And exhale, roll the chin to the chest. Inhale, bring the chin to the right shoulder. And exhale, look to the front. Good, and we're going to inhale and raise the arms. And we'll exhale and bring the hands to the heart center. And from here, hands come in front of us. And we'll walk our knees underneath our hips. Spread your fingers wide. That's how we're always starting. Spread the fingers wide so you know that you're shifting your body really into every part of the hand here, not just the heel of the hand. Good. Now slowly shift your weight forwards and back. Keep your shoulders nice and strong. So rather than sinking into them, push away from the ground, chest far away from the ground. We're just going to activate our tops of the hands, the wrists, and the forearms here. Because we might be needing a lot when we're coming into an inverted V, into parvatasana or mountain pose. Good. Now from here, draw a circle with your hips, going clockwise, or if you started anti-clockwise, it's fine as well. We'll do both directions. And other way, change direction. You can make that circle as big as you want, but you don't need to overdo this. It's just to warm up. And back into tabletop, so knees directly underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Breathe in, arch your back and look up to the ceiling. Breathe out, round your back, drop the head. Good, we inhale and arch. We exhale and round. And as we get used to this movement, we're getting more used to listening to our breath. Inhaling as we arch, rather than arching and then inhaling. So really letting the breath guide the movement. If I'm breathing too fast or moving too fast, then just adjust to your speed. And on the next inhale, we come up. We stay in our arch just for a moment, look to the front, take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, round. And now push your tailbone forwards as much as you can, really pushing the hands into the ground here. Now, deep breath in, raise the right arm and look up to the ceiling. And we're stretching into the left side, we're stretching into that shoulder, and we'll increase that by pushing the elbow towards the back. Deep breath here. And we inhale and raise the arm. And we exhale and bring the arms not just down, but over to the left side, so that the whole arm comes down into the ground. Now rest the right side of the face on the ground and raise your left arm. And we breathe. And we might feel our hips pushing towards the left. Now very consciously push the hips to the right. Deep breath in here. And on the exhale, bring the fingertips of the left hand down into the ground. Inhale and exhale, bring the left hand back to where it was so you can push yourself back into tabletop pose, Padmanasana. We'll do exactly the same on the other side. Take a deep breath in and raise that left arm, look up to the ceiling. And we've got a strong right arm here as well. And we're going to slowly push that left elbow towards the back. Feel your rib cage here. Feel that openness in the chest. Inhale and straighten the arm again. And exhale, take that left arm over to the right. all the way down. Relax your head on the ground. And inhale, raise the right arm. Again, you might feel that it's easier to shift the hips to the right side. That's fine. But nice and slowly, push your hips a little bit further to the left. Feel what's going on in your spine there. Good. And we take another deep breath in. On the exhale, reach that right hand to the front, fingertips onto the ground, stretching into the arm. Deep breath in. And we exhale and bring that right hand back. We slide the left arm back, coming onto all fours again. One more time. We inhale, arch the back and look up. And we exhale, round the back and drop the head. And now from here, tuck your toes under and push the hips up. We're going to straighten the legs and start walking the heels into the mat. And if you're very tight in the hamstrings or in the calves, just give yourself a lot of time here to make this comfortable for you. The head is dropped and completely relaxed. Our shoulders are still strong and we're stretching out the arms. Now imagine lengthening the spine. So all the way from the tailbone, not just to your neck muscles, but to your crown of the head. You want to lengthen. So really push into the hands, push the shoulders towards the back. And slowly the heels can become heavier. And it's not a problem if this is how you're looking. Focus more on that straightness of the upper body as you're here. Good. Now inhale and raise the right leg. Point your toes. Good. Nice and slowly. Start drawing a circle with your toes. Going in one direction. And then in the other direction. Good. Now flex your foot. So bring the toes all the way towards your shin, as close to the shin as you can. And slowly drop the heel towards the buttocks. Very good. Take a deep breath in here. And then exhale, look to the hands and step the foot in between the hands. If you need a lot of time here, you've got that time to grab hold of your foot and help yourself out. Just once you're here, framing the foot with the hands, sink your hips down as low as you can and look to the front. Take a few breaths here. Good. Now nice and slow. If it gets too much, the back knee comes to the ground. Raise the arms and look up to the ceiling. So this is quite deep. It's absolutely fine to come here, bringing that back knee onto the ground. If it's too much for the hips, thighs, you can come up a little bit more. So make this your pose, make this enjoyable. You want to feel your body here, feel what's going on. And you want to be able to still breathe in exactly the same way we did when we were just focusing on the breath. So nothing here changes our breath. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, we bring the hands down. We keep our hips low. Again, if you need that back knee on the ground, feel free to keep it on the ground. And then breathe in, raise the right arm, look up. We're going into another twist here. And we're letting the hips sink down. Good, and deep breath. Now from here, look to the back, drop that right arm behind you. The top of the hand can maybe rest on your left hip if you want. And we're pushing that right shoulder to the back. Now here at the back, we want to make sure that if that back leg is still straight, the heel is still above the toes. But again, if it's all a bit much, then relax that back leg. Good, and we inhale and raise the right arm. We exhale and bring the hand down. And from here, bring that back knee to the ground and straighten into that right leg. So push the hips to the back, straighten as much as you can and drop your torso. If nothing much is happening, and this is already enough, stay there and just relax. Good. And hands come back onto the ground. We shift the hips forward. And from here, step back into Parvatasana, mountain pose, downward dog, whatever you want to call it. We'll take a few breaths here. Good, and now ground your right heel, keep it nice and heavy, and inhale, raise the left leg. We're doing exactly the same on the other side. So we're going to start with those rolls here for our ankle. So draw a circle with your toes, going in one direction, and then change direction. And then flex that foot and drop the heel to the buttocks. Again, making sure your shoulders don't come forwards in any way. Take a deep breath in and exhale, step the foot in between the hands. Sink your hips down and relax. Again, if this is already too much and you want to release that back knee to the ground, that's absolutely fine. This is your class. When we look to the front, we can be on the fingertips here to elevate ourselves a little bit more. This is all things we can do. So just make sure you're really relaxed here. Shoulders don't hold any tension. Good. And then nice and slowly raise your arms, raise the torso. Vrksasana. So the galloping horse, or the horse in movement, often called in English the crescent pose or the crescent moon. Relax your shoulders. Again, if you're here, down here is fine as well. Asana, lower lunge. And we take a last deep breath in. On the exhale, the hands come down, framing our left foot. We keep the hips low. We might decide that now that back knee wants to come onto the ground. And then we inhale and raise the left arm, looking up to the ceiling. And we make sure here that we imagine a really, really long line going from the right hand to the left hand. So we're pushing into that right hand. We're pushing the shoulder away from the ear. There's a lot of distance here between our hands. The hips can sink a little lower. And then from here, drop that left arm behind you, look to the back. Again, that back leg can always come onto the ground if things get a little bit too much. I know Hatha Yoga or Hatha Yoga, I can't get used to saying it that way. Basically, it's all about holding postures. So we want to really get the benefit of holding them. That is a little bit exhausting sometimes, but it's very good for us. Now, slowly raise that left arm again and drop the hand. Bring your back knee to the ground. And then nice and slowly push the hips to the back, straightening that left leg as much as you can and dropping your torso as low as is comfortable. And again, it's not important how low you get here. It's about that feeling that you've got here in the back of the leg. You might look very different, but feel exactly the same that I'm feeling right now in my hamstring. Then slowly come back up. Tuck the back toes under and step back into Parvatasana, mountain pose, or downward dog. So for the benefit of the new person, this is your first time with me. Parvatasana, mountain pose, is how I learned it from my Indian dad. But this is obviously more known in the West as downward dog. So I'm happy to call it that as well. It doesn't matter, as long as we're nice and comfortable here. Now take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, we're going to come onto the tips of the toes. We're going to look to the hands and shift our weight forward. Now, if this is too much, you can just walk your hands a little bit further forward. You can also bring the knees to the ground. But if you're fine here, bring the shoulders far over your hands and hold here. Now, gently tuck your tailbone under. Very good. And try for the hips not to drop. So we want to be really strong in the shoulders. This is how we want to look, whether we're here or there. We don't want to drop the hips. We don't want to sink into our shoulders. Take a deep breath in now. And on the exhale, bring the knees to the ground, push the hips to the back, and stretch out the arms. Just take a little rest here in child's pose. Good. We're going to round our back, coming onto all fours. Once here, we're going to tuck the toes under and start walking our feet to the hands. And then we're going to give our hands a little shake. Good. And we're going to bring the feet together so that the big toes touch and the heels, the inside of the heels touch. Now hands slowly to our calves, and we gently pull ourselves closer. And then from here, walk the hands all the way to the shins and gently push into the shins, straightening the arms and straightening the torso until you're half way. Until here, just parallel to the ground. Roll the shoulders to the back and then bring the arms to the side. Good. We're squeezing the shoulder blades here. Now bring the palms to the front. All of this might be a little bit much for your hamstrings. Feel free to bend the legs here. Good. Now breathe in and come to standing. Bring the palms together over the head. And then breathe out and bring the hands to your heart center. Very good. We take a deep breath in and raise the arms. We breathe out and bring the right arm to the back and the left arm to the front. Look to the back. Breathe in and raise the arms. Look up. Breathe out. Twist the other way. Breathe in. Raise the arms. Come back to the front. Breathe out. Twist again. Inhale and come back to the front. Exhale and twist the other way. Good. Inhale back to the front. Now exhale, open up to the right. Drop that right hand and reach the left arm high. And come into a little back bend, nothing too deep. And feel your side body being stretched here. Good. Slowly come back. Raise the right arm. On an exhale, twist again. And then drop that left hand, raising the right arm. Slide that left hand down. Again, we don't have to go too deep here, just whatever feels comfortable. And we inhale and come back up. Both arms reach high. We look up to the ceiling. And we exhale and bring the hands to the heart center and drop halfway down. Hands stay at the heart center. And then we bend our legs a little bit. We're going to breathe in and drop the hips a little bit more, raising the arms, coming into Utkatasana. Utkat means fierce, but this is obviously the chair pose. We're going to sink a little lower. We're going to shift our weight into the heels. Maybe the toes are even going to come off the ground. Take a deep breath in here, and then exhale and bring the hands back down. Drop your head. Now, hands right next to the feet. You can obviously bend the legs for that again. And we're going to inhale and step the right leg to the back, far towards the back of the mat. And then exhale and sink your hips down. Good. We look to the front. And then we're slowly going to drop that back knee. So we're all going to drop the back knee down onto the ground. Keep your right hand where it is. Use the left hand to push the left knee out. And maybe even come onto the outer edge here of your left foot. Good. And from here, we're going to twist a little bit and look to the back. And we can keep that left hand here for a little bit more pressure, but it can also just rest there, so you don't need to overdo anything. Good. Now from here, bring the hands on the inside of the foot. Walk that foot a little bit further out, maybe, so that there's more space. Come onto your forearms if you can. If any of this is too much, stay on the hands. And just let the hips soften. Very good. Now slowly come onto the hands. And bring that left leg to the back. We're going to push the hips to the back and take a little moment here in child's pose. And it's a good time for you to notice what your breath is doing. We want to make sure we're still breathing very consciously. And from here, back up onto all fours and into vrksasana, or our inverted V. Heels heavy. We're going to take a deep breath in and raise the right leg. Point your toes. On an exhale, flex your foot. Bring the heel towards your buttocks like we did before. Deep breath into the body here. And we exhale and step the foot in between the hands. We've still got time. Don't rush this. Make sure the foot is in between the hands. Left heel comes to the ground. We bend our right leg, look to the front, and breathe in. Raise the arms and torso, sink down. And then we look to the front, or we look up to the ceiling. We reach the arms high. Arms are straight. If you want, the palms can touch, but more important that the arms are straight and that your shoulders are relaxed. And here we stand in Warrior One or in vrksasana, in the posture of the gracious hero. And we can smile. Yes, we still remember how that goes. Deep breath. Good. On an exhale, we're going to bring that right arm to the front, left arm to the back, and we're going to open up the hips to the left as well. So everything is open here, and we're going to sink a little lower and look to the front. Now, gently engage your shoulders here. Gentle squeeze of the shoulder blades. So we know the arms are working. We look beyond our right hand. Now reach forwards, go a little bit deeper into that right leg, and then inhale, bring the left hand onto the right waist and reach the right arm to the back. If any of this gets too much, just release it a little bit, don't go as deep. Good, and we inhale here, and we exhale and come back. Straighten your right leg now. Reach forwards again, just like you did before, but this time both legs are staying straight. Reach, 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 and then drop your hand and keep it wherever it lands. We can work on going deeper later. Raise that left arm and look up to the ceiling. And then maybe let that right hand slide further down and come all the way onto the ground. But what we don't want is to push our hips to the back and round our upper body in any way. So come as high as you need to. Very good. And we keep breathing, slow and deep breaths. Stomach rises as we breathe in, falls as we breathe out. Now on an exhale, reach that left arm over to the front, look to the front. Maybe even open the palm to the ceiling. And then slowly release, bring that hand to the ground, look to the ground, and frame your foot. We're going to bend our right leg. Very good. We're going to sink down a little bit. For the moment, that left heel is still on the ground. And we're going to inhale and raise the right arm. Then we look up to the ceiling. And we decide if we now straighten that leg again. This is very deep, and that right foot is quite far from the left foot. If you prefer, step that left foot further forward, makes it all a bit easier. Or might. Depends on a lot of things. Again, if you want to keep that right leg bent, that's fine, but try and keep your left heel firmly on the ground. That from a triangle, we're going into that revolved triangle, vrksasana. We want to make sure that we keep that heel at the back heavy. Good. Now look down to the ground, reach that right arm over to the front and drop the hand all the way. We're going to bend that leg, and this time we're going to raise that back heel off the ground. Take a little moment here to drop the hips, look to the front, and slowly straighten the torso. If you want, raise the arms. If you're a bit wobbly, hands onto the knees. And if it all gets too much, back knee comes down into the ground. Very good. We take a deep breath in. And we exhale and interlock the hands behind us. Squeeze the shoulder blades and come into a little back bend. Very good to open up here if you've been sitting at a desk all day. Now inhale and raise the arms again. Exhale and bring the hands down and step forward. We're coming back into our forward fold here. Relax the head, shake off, nod the head. Maybe your hands need a little bit of shaking. So every part of your body is completely relaxed here. We're just hanging out. And our spine is relaxing and we're getting... Very good. Now from here, inhale, bring the arms to the sides and come halfway up. Remember that straightness of the spine. We're parallel to the ground here. And then we breathe in and come all the way up, still with a straight spine. Look up to the ceiling. Breathe out and bring the hands to the heart center. Good. Are we ready for the other side? Very good. We are. We breathe in and raise the arms and look up. Breathe out and come halfway down, hands to the heart center. This is all a bit much for the hamstrings. I know. You can always bend your legs if you need to. Deep breath in here. And on the exhale, come into a forward fold, dropping all the way down, hands next to the feet. Again, the legs can be bent. And from here, inhale, step the left leg to the back. And as you exhale, sink your hips down. Keep that leg straight for the moment. Look to the front. Good. And then from here, slowly release that leg. Just relax that left leg. We're going to bring the right hand onto the right knee. Gently push that knee out to the side, maybe even coming out onto the outer edge of the right foot. This might be too deep, so feel free to just gently push here. We're going to use this now to twist a little bit. So depending on how deep you are here, you might look towards the back. Don't overstretch the cervical spine. We don't need any mobility here. So if you want to look to the side, because you're not that deep into your twist, that's absolutely fine. We breathe into our body here. Yeah, nice and slowly, bring that right hand onto the inside of the foot to create a bit more space. That foot can come and walk itself a little bit further to the right. And we can, but don't have to, come onto our forearms. Now, I know this is deep. There's nothing wrong with staying on the hands here. You might want to bend the arms a little bit. So bending the arms a little bit to come into almost like chaturanga arms. So bringing the elbows in towards us, so your triceps is working here, are working here. Just let yourself get comfortable, and we hold and we stay. And then nice and slowly back onto the hands, push into the hands so the hips come up. We're going to send that right leg to the back and give it a little bit of ease and relaxation as we come into balasana, child's pose. Just a few breaths, nice and relaxed. And just the hips from side to side. We're just comfortable and we feel our body, and that's a good thing. Good. And from here, round your back, come up onto all fours, tuck your toes under, push the hips up again, and we let the heels get heavy. And then our left leg rises as we take a deep breath in. Point your toes here. On an exhale, flex your foot, bring the heel towards your buttocks. And we're trying to keep that knee nice and high. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, step the foot in between the hands. Again, if it hasn't landed there, you've got a lot of time. We're taking our time here. This is Hatha Yoga, not Vinyasa. Right heel comes to the ground. And we look to the front. And we raise the arms and torso. And we look to the front or up to the ceiling. Just making sure we're comfortable here and we're relaxed and balanced. And we want to also make sure that we're not already opening up. We know we're coming into warrior two after that. So gently push your right hip forward and the left hip back. That doesn't mean you have to be super aligned here towards the front. That's all about how it feels again. So it doesn't have to look a certain way. So make sure that there's that intention of gently pushing the left hip to the back. And we remember relaxed shoulders here, and the palms can be together, but they don't have to. So this is how you're looking. Maybe just release, reach the arms high. Good. Now take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, open up to the right, left arm to the front, right arm to the back, squeeze the shoulder blades, look towards or beyond your left hand. Good. Now nice and slowly reach further forwards. Really still bending into that left leg as we inhale and take ourselves into reverse warrior. Right hand onto the left waist. Left arm reaches over. If it gets too much, release some of that pressure here. Don't bend that left leg too much, or don't go as far towards the back. So feel a nice deep stretch here, but decide how deep you want to go. You look towards the left hand. Deep breath in, and we exhale and come back. Good. From here, we straighten that left leg, keeping both legs straight. We reach for the front again, coming as far over as we can, and then just dropping that left arm, keeping it wherever it lands. Raise the right arm, look up to the ceiling, maybe slide lower. Hand can be all the way on the ground, but doesn't have to. If we're looking like this, get that hand higher again. Right. And just like in that twisted lunge that we did, the hands are far away from each other. We're reaching as high as we can here, going for as much distance between the hands as we can. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, reach that left arm over to the front. Look to the front. And slowly release. Right hand comes down. Left hand is on the outside of the left foot, and we bend that left leg to begin with, making sure the right heel is still firmly on the ground. Excellent. Now inhale, raise the left arm, look up to the ceiling. So if you're staying with that left leg bend, the difference here is that we're not in that twisted lunge, not the hips down and that heel up. Heel stays on the ground and the hips are high. And we're trying to push the hips higher, straightening that left leg. This is harder and you don't have to do it. Little micro bend here is fine as well. Just comfortable enough to hold. Now where we're warming our muscles up slowly and safely, we're getting the full benefit of all those stretches unfolding. Now slowly look down to the ground and reach that left arm over to the front and slowly release. Now raise that back heel off the ground and sink the hips down, bending that left leg. We look to the front and we decide if we're comfortable enough to bring the hands onto the knees here, or if we want to bring that back knee to the ground. Nice and relaxed is completely fine as well. We've done this before. So either way, you're going back into Anjaneyasana or into Ashtanga. And then you can raise the arms here, looking up. And this is also possible. So what we're doing next is just dropping the hands, interlocking the hands behind us. Back knee can be on the ground for this as well. So up to you if you want the back toes to still be tucked under and that back leg to be off the ground. Good. And we inhale and raise the arms. And we exhale and bring the hands down. From here, we step into a forward fold. And we relax. We just let ourselves hang here. Good. Now, hands to the shins. Straighten the arms. Straighten the torso. Shift the weight into the toes. Heels can come slightly off the ground if you want. And we're going to breathe in and raise the arms and raise the torso. Look up to the ceiling. Breathe out and bring the hands to the heart center. Next one is particularly for Mila. We're going to do the tree pose. So we're going to go into balance, starting by bringing that left foot towards the right lower leg, just the lower leg to begin with. If this is too much, bring the toes onto the ground and stay here. And if now you decide this is fine, I can go further, grab hold of that foot, bring it to the right inner thigh. And find that connection here. And once you've got it, take a deep breath in and raise the arms. And then exhale and bring the hands to the heart center. And as before, we want to make sure our shoulders are still engaged. So very aware of our upper body here, not just of opening the hip flexors here and of standing on that right foot that's supporting us. Very good. Now we're going to take this nice and slowly. From looking towards the front, you're probably just looking at the screen right now. Try and look towards your fingertips. This is much, much harder. So if you're struggling with that, try and look towards the ground just in front of you. Good. And no one would know the difference anyway. But now we're going to try and look to our fingertips. Great. And then we straighten the head again, looking to the front. And from here, we're going to try and close the eyes. No one can see you, so it's absolutely fine. Whatever happens is okay. And I'm going to close the eyes with you. And my balance might not be all that today as well, but that's okay. Okay, we're going to open the eyes again. We're going to take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, we float the arms down and we let go of that left leg, and we're going to shake off the leg. Well done. We're going to test the other side, of course, seeing how that's going to work for us. Starting nice and easy. We're just getting to know the balance on this side. Hands onto the hips. And that foot comes to the lower leg, or maybe the toes stay on the ground for a little bit longer. We see how we feel. And if we're thinking, easy, we're going to grab that foot and bring it to the inner side. Very good. And once we're stable here, we're going to inhale and raise the arms. And we're going to exhale and bring the hands to the heart center. Gently engaging the shoulders here. Maybe finding that there's a line going straight from one elbow via the wrist to the other elbow. And we focus on a spot in the distance just to keep our balance, to get used to what we're actually doing here. And that'll help us disperse our thoughts. And if with that, we can also focus on the breath and just being in that moment here, rather than thinking of what's for dinner, what the next pose is, what we're going to do tomorrow. Then all of this will become a little bit easier. Now change your gaze if you're still with me. If it's too hard, you keep looking and focusing on that spot in the distance. If you want to, look down to the ground. And if that's doable, then look to your fingertips instead. Good. Straighten the head. And we might try and close the eyes on this side as well. If you don't want to, that's completely fine. We're just trying, getting to know our body, how it is today. And from here, open the eyes. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, float the arms down, release that right leg, shake off the legs. Super well done. So this is very, very hard, and we all did very well. From here, come to the front of the mat again. Take a deep breath in, raise the arms, drop your hips. Really sink as low as you can now. Good, and from here, sink all the way down onto your buttocks. Grab hold of your big toes, raise the legs. And you can keep them bent, or you can straighten them all the way. Very much up to you here. Good, now I suggest we bend the legs first. Point the toes to the front, letting go of your arms and reaching the fingertips towards the front. Now straighten the legs again and hold. If this is too much, you can keep the legs bent all the way. You can bring the knees back further in towards you. You can bring the feet a little bit further down. Just see what works for you. And then breathe into your body. We're working our core here as well, of course. So you want to make sure that you're not holding your breath. And you'll feel your legs here, and that's so nice. Maybe the legs shake a little bit. That's okay as well. From here, hug the knees in towards you and slowly roll onto your back. And the knees come with you. We gently rock from side to side. Good. Now from here, bring that left leg down onto the ground. Bring the right knee over the left. And then bring the knees back in towards you. Bring that right foot underneath the left leg again. And bring the toes of the left foot as close towards the buttocks as you can. Back down onto the ground. Interlock the hands behind your head. Or you can reach the arms to the sides here as well if you prefer, if you have enough space. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, drop your knees to the left and turn your head to the right. And while we do that, we want to make sure that our right shoulder doesn't come off the ground. Better to raise the knees a bit higher, keep them as high as you need to for that right shoulder to still be grounded. And for that, we're looking to the right because we want a little bit of extra support here, the mental support for that shoulder to stay quite heavy. And we can close the eyes now. Just staying in that twist for a little bit. Now deepen your breath. Inhaling and feeling, probably in particular, your right side of the rib cage here. Of course, you'll feel the chest and stomach as well. Now notice if you can feel your lower back. Maybe you want to release the right hand and hold on. Put a hand on your lower back and see what's going on there. And you'll notice that there is movement there too. That's the power of our breath. Good. And we'll take a last deep breath in here. On the exhale, bring the knees back up. Good. And we're going to slide the right foot onto the left knee and we push the knee away from us. For a little bit more hip and hamstring work, we're going to bring that left leg in towards us, hold on, interlocking the hands behind the thigh, and straighten your leg to the ceiling. Now flex your foot here. In fact, you can flex both feet and gently push that right knee away from you. And while we do that, we make sure that we still relax our upper body. We take deep breaths in and out. Deep and slow. Last inhale. And on the exhale, we relax. We take a moment to have the knees in towards us and we can move our feet in anywhere we like. If we feel like the ankles need it. And then bring that right foot down onto the ground, left knee on top of the right. We hug the knees in towards us like that and bring that left foot underneath the right. Fear not if that's a little bit too much. It's okay to just have one leg on top of the other. Interlock the hands behind you. Bring that right foot down onto the ground, but try and have it as close in towards your buttocks as you can. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, drop your knees to the right and turn your head to the left. And this time we want to make sure that our left shoulder doesn't rise off the ground. Maybe our head tipping over to the side is helping us a little bit with that. Just a little bit of mental support. And we'll close the eyes again. We'll stay here for a little bit. Breathing into the left side of the body. Also being aware how we're breathing into our lower back. And find if there's any overriding sensations that we feel here in this pose. Maybe the hips, maybe our lower back. And we're here to just observe those sensations. We're staying and we're breathing. And we have that time to notice how we're feeling. What's going on in the body. And mostly we're too busy for that sort of thing, which means that we're not as embodied, not as in tune with what's going on with us as we could be. We can take those moments to notice what's going on. It's not just our physical feelings, but it can be emotions as well that manifest in sensations too. Now, slowly raise the knees, coming onto our back again. We're going to bring that left ankle on top of the right knee, push the knee away from us as we're grabbing hold of the right leg, just underneath the thigh here, and we're going to straighten that right leg to the ceiling. If you're looking nothing like that, don't worry. You're unlikely to do as much yoga as I do. It's a genetic thing as well. So if this is how you're looking, it's all very uncomfortable, don't worry. Stay where you are, where you feel that you're stretching into the right hamstring and into the left hip. You might feel the left inner thigh here as well. What's going on? And we hold and we stay and we breathe. Flexing both feet if that's not too much. Good. Now slowly release. Hug the knees back in towards you. We'll come into one of my favorite poses, and we can adapt in any way we like. I'll show how you can adapt the easiest version first. Hands underneath the thighs, or just underneath the crooks of the knees here. Flex your feet, raise the feet up towards the ceiling. And then maybe the hands can come on the inside of the legs, so you can push the knees out and pull them down towards the armpits. You might be here, you might decide that you can actually reach for your feet, or maybe your ankles, and use a little bit more strength to push the knees down further. But again, if all of this is too much, you can just relax here, hands on the outside or on the inside. Just see what works. And close the eyes. No matter where we are, we want to feel that space here in our upper body, the space to breathe. Noticing that expansion of the upper body and the contraction. That rise and fall. Now slowly release. Bring the feet back down onto the ground. This time, feet hip distance apart. We're going to reach the arms to the sides or interlock the hands behind us. And with the feet still hip distance apart, drop the legs to the left. You feel that on the right side of your body. Take a deep breath in here. And on the exhale, raise the knees. Again, feet quite far apart. We're dropping the knees to the right. Breathing into the left side of the body. On an exhale, raise the knees again. And then stretch the legs away from you. Bring the arms to the sides. Arms and legs quite far apart. And we close the eyes. We open the palms to the ceiling. We check in on that smile on our face. And we find it again as it's gone. And just as a reminder for everyone who doesn't know it, first time, every time we smile, we drive our brain into activity that's typical of happiness. That we activate those neural pathways that fire when we're happy. It's just a little thing to actually make us happy, to make our brain think, oh, okay, I know what's going on. I can do something with that. Now from here, inhale and raise the arms and then stretch into your body here. Point your fingers, point your toes. And flex your toes and slide the feet in towards you. Keep the arms nice and high next to the head as you drop the knees to the right and come into the right side of the body. And the left hand, I'm going to just go in front of you here. And you lie here and notice if our breath has changed in any way. And then slowly come up to seated. And we're going to bring that right foot towards the left butt cheek. It might already be there. We're going to bring the left foot to the right side. Good. We straighten the spine here. And then we want to drop our knee. Drop it all the way down. See if it can come on top of your right knee. If this is all a bit much, straighten that lower leg first. That's the first thing you do. And then don't bring that leg as far over. Keep it a little bit looser. So this is what we're doing with the knees. And then we're going to raise that left arm. We're going to drop the hand behind our back. We're going to use the right hand to push the elbow behind us. We keep looking straight, We might grab hold of the hand at the back, whatever feels right, whatever is possible. And then from here, drop the chin to the chest and then bring your left ear towards your left armpit. Slow, deep breath. Roll the chin back to the chest and then release. Bring the arms to the side. Roll your shoulders to the back here. Make this shoulder action, not arm action. So the arms just move because the shoulders are guiding the way. Very good. And from here, we release. We bring the legs both to the front. We bring that left foot to the right butt cheek, right foot to the outside of the left thigh. From here, we're going to drop that knee and pull the foot towards the left hip. And we decide whether that's possible or not, whether we need to adjust a little bit, straightening that left leg, maybe not bringing that right knee as far over. And then we're ready for the other side. Right arm goes up and the hand drops behind us. We're going to use that left hand to gently push the elbow as far towards or behind the head as we can. We might bind our hands behind us if that's comfortable, or we just stay here. Slowly drop the chin to the chest. And then take your right ear to the right armpit, keeping that chin quite low so it's almost in touch with your collarbone. And we breathe and feel the rib cage expand and contract. Feel the stomach rise and fall. And feel the chest rise and fall. And then slowly roll the chin back down to the chest. Bring the arms to the sides. Roll your shoulders to the back and to the front. Same thing, just the other way. Good. From here, we inhale and raise the arms. And we exhale and float the arms down. We're going to release our poor legs. I know some of you are struggling with this pose. We're going to give them a little shake towards the front here if we need that. And then from here, we're going to come into a comfortable seated position, just crossing the legs or in any way you like to sit, but make sure your spine is straight. We're going to bring the hands onto the knees and close the eyes. And we come back to what we did at the beginning. If we want, we put one hand on the chest and one on the stomach. And then we breathe in for 3 and out for 6. And I count, but if that's not your tempo and far too fast or slow, then go at your own pace. So 3, 2, 1, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 3 and out for 6. In for 3 and out for 6. And then we just let the breath be. We observe. We get a sense of what our breath is doing. And whenever your next exhalation is, drop your left ear to the left shoulder and hold you for a moment. Let the shoulders get heavy. And then take your chin towards the shoulder, looking to the left. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, roll the chin to the chest. On your inhale, raise the head. And as you exhale, drop your right ear to the right shoulder. Stay here for a moment with the shoulder staying heavy. Bring the chin towards the shoulder, looking to the right. And drop the chin to the chest. And then raise the head, looking straight. We're going to take a deep breath in and raise the arms and look up. And we exhale and bring the hands to the heart center. Thank you very much for joining me. And I will see you again soon.